This is The Eradication of Polar Bears' Habitats by Sean Patel, Reed Monterosa, Jack Bryce, and Antoine Young. This is our table of contents, so you can see what we're going to be working on today. Okay, number one. Our problem is that the habitat of polar bears is melting due to climate change. Uh, you may ask me, why do we care about polar bears? What purpose do they serve? It's pretty simple. Polar bears provide a vital role in the ecosystem, an Arctic ecosystem, where they feed on seals. If they are not feeding on seals, then seal population will spike, and their prey population will fall, eventually leading to the eradication of that species, which is obviously bad. We do not want that. What is killing the polar bears is quite simply it's climate change. It's melting away the ice caps, uh, the places that polar bears can eat, live, reproduce, and hunt. Most importantly, is getting destroyed. They're not able to walk on the ice, which is causing them to die. You can see right there by Christine Hunter. I'll give a little expert. The retreat of sea ice beyond the continental shelf and longer ice periods during the summer are expected to reduce foraging success. That's bad. And then you may ask again, what is climate change? What can we do to solve climate change? Climate change is greenhouse gases. When we release a lot of greenhouse gases, it produces a shield or a greenhouse effect, which means that when UV rays or heat bounces down, when they try to go back up, they cannot do that. Because of that, it's leading to increased temperatures. And yeah, I'll pass it over to Sean.
So this is our proposed solution for the climate change effects on polar bears' habitats. So we chose to implement a carbon tax on the people in the world. So what a carbon tax is where the government sets a price that citizens pay for each ton of greenhouse gas they emit. Because of this, businesses and consumers will take steps like switching fuels or adopting new technologies to avoid paying this tax, which no one wants to pay extra money. So because carbon is the main gas that traps heat in the atmosphere and warms up the earth, this will reduce the carbon that goes into the environment and will positively affect global warming problems for these polar bears' habitats. This is because the less carbon that gets trapped up in the atmosphere will reduce slow global warming rates and save polar bears' habitats from melting. And also, this is from the richest person in the world, Elon Musk. According to Entrepreneur.com, Elon Musk is funding a $100 million carbon renewal competition. Musk has consistently funded efforts to fight global warming. We want teams to build real systems that can make a measurable impact at a gigaton rate level. Whatever it takes, time is of the essence, Musk says. This just shows that a lot of people support this cause, and even the richest man in the world can take time out of his busy day, to help climate change and reduce global warming. So, part two, according to Earth.org, the core purpose of a carbon tax is to provide market signals strong enough to result in reduced carbon emissions across large sections of the economy. By attaching a significant price to carbon, letting out carbon, incentivizes shifts towards less carbon-intensive fuels and other technologies that will help reduce global warming. Some estimates of emissions reduction potential from a broad-based tax of $50 per ton could be over 20%. What this means is that if the tax costs 50% per ton that people give out, the reduction of the global warming rate would go down to 20%. This shows the benefits of what a carbon tax could have on the environment and how it could slow down climate change and save these polar bears' habitats.
Pros and cons to the carbon tax. Some pros would be it reduces carbon emissions. If enough companies try to avoid this tax, they will allocate resources to reduce the carbon emissions. If this tax seems to work, it would encourage people to convert to clean energy, maybe using more solar power or hydropower and things of that nature. And it would also make people switch to maybe more electric cars. It also could give the government more money to give to other areas. It could be teachers, it could be fire department, things of just that nature, even waste management. Um, Another thing is it has a major lack of support. Big companies do not support this at all, and also could give a shift in dominance in the economy. It would allow other like new companies to come in, and let's say they advertise clean energy. If they have that clean energy, it gives a big risk to these major companies having more competition. Ways to implicate into today. Taxing on carbon, like I said, is against big companies. If it were to be installed, it'd be in a tiered system and just go slowly up and just start. It would start low and then it would just slowly rise as the economy gets better, so the economy can adjust to it. And increase transportation prices. The cost of gas will increase, which should what they wanted to do is make people either get low emission vehicles or get electric vehicles. That's a little picture of an electric bus. Limitations. Low income inequality families will struggle. This will increase poverty. Poverty is already a really big thing in America. So this might not be some of the best things, but it is a solution. Um, a struggle for competition. Domestic companies will struggle with foreign competitors. This might cause a leakage within the industry. It will have companies that are domestic try to move out of the country to avoid this tax.
Conclusion. This slide explains how a carbon tax can help slow down climate change and protect polar bears. First, it makes big companies responsible for their pollution. Industries like the steel and cement industry release a lot of carbon into the air. By taxing them, we can push them to reduce their emissions and find cleaner ways to operate. Second, it helps improve transportation. With higher gas prices, more and more people and businesses will switch to low emission options like electric cars, which reduces harmful pollution. Third, it encourages new technologies. To avoid paying the tax, businesses will invest in cleaner technologies, which helps the environment in the long run. These steps will protect polar bears' habitats, slow global warming, and make the Earth a safer, more healthier place for all living things. How does a carbon tax protect polar bears in the long run? So first, it diminishes global warming. By reducing carbon emissions, a carbon tax contributes to a reduction in global warming. For polar bears who depend on the Arctic sea ice to survive, this is crucial and very important. It also protects grounds. Polar bears depend on sea ice to hunt seals, their main food supply. The carbon price or tax helps keep the ice stable, ensuring they have enough to eat at all times. And third, it stops habitat loss. By 2050, Arctic sea ice may vanish in the summer if nothing is done. By lowering emissions, the carbon tax helps protect the ice that polar bears depend on. And finally, it promotes long-term survival. The carbon price helps stabilize the climate by cutting emissions, which increases the likelihood that polar bears will be able to adapt and thrive in their natural habitat. And here are the sources.